The Rams made it close, I guess. Seahawks. Just like, what the heck was that? Yeah, that's all I really got, because, like, the games weren't really that great. Like, either way, Week 12 NFL Sunday recap. Here we go.
Here's Walker. Walker to the 5. Pushing his way to the end zone. Did he get there? He did!
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Fun NFL Like a Script. Hope you guys enjoyed. We've got the Week 12 NFL Sunday recap. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Yeah, let's get into the first one. Texans and Dolphins. Obviously, like a Script. Hope you guys enjoy. Texans Dolphins. Here's the highlights.
Hard Rock Stadium in Miami Gardens, Florida. That's the points and a field goal of 29 yards. This time, the operation and the kick. Perfect. Here comes Houston. Tua to the end zone. Touchdown. Durham Smythe. Really introspective stuff with Didi in our sit down with him this week. As Tagovailoa back to the air. Quick cross. Hill. That pass is picked. Intercepted by Van Ginkel. Still on his feet. Inside the Wilson. Lead blockers. Play action. Tagovailoa, another fake off the seam. Jump ball, and it is caught. Unit. So here's Sanders. He hit earlier from 45. This is a 23-yard chip shot attempt. Good snap, but company. Pin in their ears back. Allen pocket squeezes, able to get it out. That's the tight end, Jordan Akins. He's lit up. Football is loose. Miami with the recovery. Now was able to keep the weight off of his back legs. Gunbo Wale. Challenge, what a player he's become. That pass caught over the middle. It's Akins. Akins taking on tacklers. Try to make it a 3-score game. Play action. Allen, end zone. They dropped him. The change left, fourth quarter, 30-12. Kyle Allen taking over the football, taking a deep shot. He finds Cooks
to get another couple of touchdowns and a 2-point, even with this field goal.
And they've had.
And as expected, the Dolphins blew up the Texans. They didn't really have anyone play in the second half. It's literally how bad it was. It was 30-0 at halftime. In garbage time, I mean, Kyle Allen put up some numbers, 26 of 39, 215 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. But they're so awful. I mean, I just saw that Kyle Allen interception. Worst throw of the season, in my opinion, so far. It was so bad. They're now 1-9-1. They're god-awful. They've lost 6 in a row. Dolphins won their 5th in a row, though. They're really freaking good. Couldn't run the ball right. They didn't do it enough either. Like, Damon Pierce got 5 carries. Jordan Akins, I mean, good in garbage time. Brandon Cooks got a bomb. Nico Collins, a couple good catches. Teagan, Quintin Ariano, I think will be the future of their tight end position. And yeah, that's really all I got. Their offensive line's like too. Jalen Petrie, I mean, he made some tackles, but I mean, it wasn't great or anything. Christian Kirksey had a sack. I don't think he was good in contain, though. I do think Malik Collins played very well, had 2 sacks. Jake Hansen had a sack, and Mary Lavison also had a sack. So they had 5 sacks. Couple were in the garbage time. They actually got some pressure on what is it called, Tua. Tua, 299 a touchdown, 22 of 36. That's, like, insane. Skylar Thompson came in and, like, kind of dominated. No, he wasn't very good. Yeah, but let me put it this way. Tua played, it wasn't a whole a little over a half, and he was phenomenal. Like, these are really freaking good numbers. He didn't force anything. He looked really comfortable. Obviously, he was moving around the pocket as well. Didn't run the ball well. That's a little concerning, but it's one game. Tyreek, 6 for 85. I mean, it was a pretty good game by him. Jalen Waddle also had 85 yards and 5 catches. He was getting more open than Tyreek, but Tyreek, of course, had one long run. Wait, it was only 5 yards, my bad. It was one of his catches. Jerome Smith had a touchdown as well. Defensively, they had 4 sacks. They got a ton of pressure. They had 2 interceptions, obviously. Andrew Van Ginkel and Vernon McKinley, and they also had a scoop and score. So yeah, that's really what I got there. Actually, looking at the statistics, the Dolphins dominated. They had the ball longer. They had 3-to-1 turnover ratio. The offensive linemen were equally bad at points in this game, though. That's what I'll say. And they had the ball a lot longer. Yeah, it was pretty much just the game we expected. It was an absolute freaking drubbing. Let's get right to the keys of the game grids for both these teams. So this Texans offense run the ball with Dameon Pierce for over 200 yards and almost first downs. Absolutely not. Kyle Allen on rollouts has to push the ball downfield. He actually tried to, and Blair Tunsil, he almost got a touchdown. And yeah, no, their offense was awful. 3 minuses. You know, I'll have to give them 5. Don't care they scored in garbage time. They had in the first half the Dolphins scored more points than they did. For this defense though, stop the run. They did that, and Tua was getting pressured. I honestly don't think defensively they were that bad. I'll actually give them an underscore. Again, they weren't great, but I mean it wasn't terrible. They probably should have sacked Tua more. Other than that, but, you know, I actually give them a plus. I actually think their defense played well, in all honesty, because their offense was so god awful. You know, I'll give their offense 6 minuses. They were that bad. I actually don't think defensively they played really that bad the whole game. That was probably their best game of the season, being honest. Like, they really weren't bad whatsoever. But even on film, they weren't giving the Dolphins really anything. A couple big plays, yeah, here and there. But their defense is supposed to suck. So, they actually weren't that bad in the end. Let's get right to the Dolphins. Dolphins consistent purpose in rhythm when running. I don't even know what the heck they were doing. But they had a lot of sharp fields, too. Tyreek and Jalen, they did have a lot of design touches, and Tua got the job done. 3 pluses. They got it done. Like, they did what they were supposed to. Dolphins defense, obviously, I'm going to give them, when you outscored an offense first half, I'll give them 5 pluses. Even though they were playing a terrible offense, they played phenomenal. Like, I really don't know another way to say it. They were so good. That's all I got for this dumpster fire. Now let's get to the, one of the most wild games I've seen in a while. Ravens, Jaguars, here are the highlights.
Teams are not yet on the field. We're awaiting official word as to when the game will start. But for now, we'll send you to bonus coverage of the Bengals and Titans after this. Lamar, quick pass. It's Andrews. His second catch. And he lost the football. And Tucker has now made converted 6 out of 6 times. Lawrence trying to make it 7 for 7. Tucker is good again. Lamar. And he lost the football. And either way, he's short. Lawrence, pump fakes, looking for Hasty. He's got him. And a touchdown. Kick on the way. And what else would you expect? A win by Michigan. And John Harbaugh was very proud of his brother. 3rd and 3. Hasty wide open.
So, smart. Great job by Trevor Lawrence.
22-yard field goal by Brown. He's got a man down there. It's Oliver into Jacksonville territory. This is from 24 yards away. And Tucker. Lamar up the middle, inside the 5. Still going. And he is there. 2nd and goal. Edwards up the middle. Devon Hamilton with the first. Lawrence. Edwards, the running back. Lamar hands it to Edwards. And Edwards lost the football! A 29-yard attack for Patterson, and the kick is good. Lamar winding up, going deep for Jackson. He's got him! Deshaun Jackson! 11. Lamar, play action. He's got a wide open man. Oliver, touchdown! Lawrence trying to keep the game going. Quick pass. Marvin Jones has it. 3rd down and 6. Lawrence looking deep for Jones. He's got it. Seconds to go. Lawrence throwing to the end zone. Marvin Jones. Yes. They call it a touchdown. Lawrence in the shotgun. Looking left. Throws left. And it's caught. St. Jones. Tucker, kick on the way, online, does it have the distance? No!
And in a wild one, the Jaguars knock off the Ravens in a surprising one. They go to 4-7, 28-27 win over the Ravens. No offense, I'll just put it this way. The Ravens played pretty bad in this game. They were not good. The reason they won it is because a couple big plays, they just were not good in this game. They haven't played well the past 2 weeks. I just think it's because offensively, well, the running game just it's not working out with anyone but Lamar, which is a problem. And as well, the receivers are not getting open, and it's coming back to bite them. Because, again, they really don't have anyone to throw to. Lamar 16 of 32, 234, touchdown. He was really patient. Went through his all his reads. Their offensive line is actually pretty good. But again, the fact that Lamar's the only one that's getting consistent yardage. I mean, yeah, Gus Edwards, he wasn't very good. He was pretty bad, honestly. You need someone else to run the ball better. And not only that, though, these receivers got to get open. I mean, Mark Andrews was not good. He couldn't block. Probably his worst game of the season, 450, though. Deshaun Jackson, of course, got a bomb. If he can get more involved, that would be huge. Josh Oliver was pretty good, though. He had a touchdown on 4 catches for 76 yards. DeMarcus Robinson, disappointing game after that huge one he had. But obviously, you can't expect much of him. He's not exactly a number 1 receiver, but after that big game, it's kind of a letdown. He didn't play very well. Defensively, though, obviously, they gave Trevor too much time. Yeah, they had 4 sacks, but, like, some of the plays, I'm like, Jesus, the secondary, you gotta stop it there. In coverage, they're actually not giving blood. They're not actually getting burned as much as they've been lately. It's just, I mean, earlier in the season. It's more the fact that when the ball gets thrown to them, they're not making a play on it. That's huge. Roquan Smith, though, was very good. He saved a couple touchdowns. Yeah, he did. Chuck Clark was, I think, pretty good in zone coverage. Again, he wasn't super bad. Marlon Humphrey has been really bad when it comes to defending passes. Not in coverage, just defending the pass. He's just not good. Marcus Peters, I mean, he broke up a couple passes at 6 tackles. He did his job. Brandon Stevens is not a starter. By far, he's not, but he had 6 tackles. Their defense was really bad. I mean, in the end, just wasn't good. Of course, Justin Tucker missed that 67-yarder. I was hoping he made it, but he didn't. Yeah, Trevor, 29, 37, 321, and 3 touchdowns. He was phenomenal. Best game of his season. He didn't run the ball for their life. Obviously, with Travis Etienne Jr. getting hurt, that did not help as well. Okay, Zay Jones was phenomenal, 11 for 145. He made a lot of contested catches, unlike what the Ravens were doing. They couldn't make a play on the ball. He wasn't exactly getting open, but he was making the catches. Michael Hasty had 5 for 67, of course, a 20-yard touchdown. Jamal Agnew's very good in the red zone. Marvin Jones also had a touchdown as well. Defensively, they were pretty good. Floyd Lewicomb had 13 tackles, which is crazy. I wouldn't say he was good in coverage, but I mean, 13 tackles, 13 tackles. Devon Hamilton had a sack. I'm surprised Dwayne Smoot didn't. He got a lot of pressure. Defensively, they weren't anything great per se, but I mean, they covered the guys they were supposed to. Yards was actually pretty even. Obviously, the Ravens had a lot more rushing yards. It was really an even game until the end. Like, it was a very, very even game. I just thought the Ravens were going to win it because, again, they basically had control of the game for most of it. They just didn't score enough points, and again, they were abysmal in the red zone. That just can't happen. That's where we got right there. Let's get right to the keys of the game grades for both teams. And for this Ravens offense, they didn't run the ball for really any big plays. Use Lamar more on design rolls. They actually did that well. And running backs, yeah. The running backs did not get as many lanes as I thought they would, and the receivers did not get as many open shots as I thought they would. I'll give them an underscore offensively because they were still able to score 27 points, and Lamar came through in the end. But they were not, actually got to give them a minus. They weren't good enough offensively. Yeah, 27 points, yes. They weren't good enough. They should have won this game by a lot more than they did. And obviously, defensively, they just in coverage, they could not make plays when the ball was thrown to them. For that reason, I got to give them 3 minuses. A stinker for the Ravens. Obviously, they had a shot at the end, but that was a really tough loss. That was the game they could not lose, and they did. They're still first. They've won first place in the division, but they're going to have to win next week against the Broncos. They have a really freaking easy schedule, obviously, if you didn't realize that. But they've got some big games coming up. They're going to have to win, take care of business against Denver. Obviously, they did not play great. Now let's go to the Jaguars. And for Jacksonville, yeah, Travis Etienne just wasn't really there. Offensively, though, I had to say Trevor was phenomenal, 5 pluses. Yeah, they kind of got shut down to start the game, but their resilience really showed. They were really good when it's all said and done. Defensively, they could have been better, but I will give them a plus. I actually don't think they were super good because, again, they got the ball moved down on them. I think it was just the fact that the Ravens could not run the ball when there's really no space. That was a huge problem with them. But they did. I honestly will give their defense 2 pluses. I don't think on film they look great. I'll be honest with you. They made a lot of missed assignments, but it was an ugly win defensively. But, I mean, 27 points they gave up. They were good for most of it. Obviously, in the end, it wasn't great, but hey, when your offense bails you out, you play pretty well. And even then, they didn't really bail them out. Bucs Browns, this game was an OT thriller. Let's get right to the highlights.
Buccaneers are in Cleveland, getting set to take on Myles Garrett and the Browns.
Now Kareem Hunt tosses it back. This is Schwartz. Brissett leading the way, and Schwartz is in.
Hope he makes a few plays. We can talk a little bit more about him today.
Here's White. Rachaad White across midfield. Brady looking, pulls it in, now throws, Godwin, first down, touchdown. From the right hash, from 51, kick is good. Connected from 51 earlier from the right hash. And this one is not even close. From 42, Suckup.
3rd down and 1. Brady throws. It is caught. 2nd down and 4. They keep it on the ground with number 24 and Chubb inside the 20 to 15. 4th and 10. Brissett throws. Back of the end zone. What a catch! Brissett looking to throw on 3rd down.
There he goes to Cooper.
Wide open. Cooper makes the catch inside the 10 to the 5. There's Chubb up the middle. Then Chubb to the end zone. Touchdown. There is a flag.
And in Cleveland, and Jacoby Brissett's last game as a starter for the Browns, at least this season, probably forever, unless something happens with Deshaun Watson, or he just absolutely sucks. Browns came on top of the Bucs. They keep their season alive in a sense. Go to 4-7. They're probably not going to win the division. They're probably not going to make the playoffs, but they're 4-7. Overtime win against the Bucs. Bucs, I don't even know what to say. I mean, their offenses, they're brutal to watch. They're almost as bad as the Rams' offense at this point. They were not good. Tom, I mean, yeah, he doesn't have a lot of pressure, but he's just not hitting a lot. Like, honestly, Tom Brady, I love him. Like, he's a very good quarterback. Well, I don't love him, but I respect him a lot. He missed some big-time throws in this one. And the receivers, as much as I like Chris Godwin, he was not getting any separation. Mike Evans sucked. I mean, he was really bad. He could not get open for his life. Cole Keefe had a touchdown, though. And, yeah, of course, Chris Godwin did as well. They ran the ball pretty well, though. I mean, Keyshawn Vaughn got 4 carries, so that wasn't good. They should have ran the ball more, though. And Tom Brady, 43 pass attempts, 246 yards, 2 touchdowns. Again, the receivers just were not getting open in this one. Cameron Brate has been a bust for them. I try to respect him. I did not think he was going to have a good season because, again, I'm just saying, he did not have a good season. He's not had a good season whatsoever. Devin White I actually think was pretty good. Levante David did his job. Keanu Neal was okay, had half a sack. Carlton Davis got humbled in this one. That's all I got to say there. He got his absolute rear end kicked on that one play. That's probably the worst you can get beat on in any type of route ever. That was such a bad. Amari Cooper on the, if you didn't, like, of course, the game-winning catch, basically. He got beat so bad. That was, like, oh, my God. 3 sacks, no total. Obviously, Cardinals has had half of one. I mean, it was a really good half sack. Mike Edwards had an interception, though. Defensively, I don't think they were bad, but, again, in the end, they just couldn't play well. Nick Chubb fought for every yard he had. It was not easy, but he did have 116 yards on 4 or 5 yards per carry. Anthony Schwartz had a touchdown on an end around on throwing the ball to Cooper Brissett, bad interception, but other than that, he was really good. 23 of 37, 210 touchdown. Of course, Amari Cooper at the end game-winning catch, obviously not a touchdown, but David Njoku, a phenomenal touchdown catch to get the game tied. Nick Chubb, of course, the game-winning touchdown. JOK, 6 tackles. I think he was decent. Denzel Ward, I actually think was clamps, but where is he? Martin Emerson Jr. was filthy. He was nasty. If you don't know who that guy is, watch out for him. He's really good. Myles Garrett was probably the MVP for this defense, though. Janae Van Connie and Jordan Elliott, to say the least, they got a lot of pressure. But that's all I got there. Of course, Cade York shanked the field goal, but for a really bad shank. Like, not even close. But, total yards actually went to the Browns. The Browns outplayed them in this one. They had the ball a lot longer. They should have won this game in regulation, but they didn't. So, yeah, that's what I got there. Let's go right to the tease game grades for both teams. Okay, for this Bucs offense, used Rashad White on screen. Didn't get the ball. Rashad White on screen. They just simply didn't get on the ball enough, in my opinion. You get the ball as much as you possible to do Rashad White. They didn't. That's the reason they lost. 3 minuses. Their offense stunk, and they were not good whatsoever. Bucs defense shut down Nick Chubb. They couldn't, and obviously they did play outside leverage with Jacoby Brissett. Did not have any big throws. The reason they lost is because Carlton Davis got his absolute butt key being on that play. I've got to give them 3 minuses as well. Yeah, I know they weren't super duper awful, but they got to come through there. Obviously, they were on the field a lot. Give them credit. I'll give them 3 minuses, but they got Carlton Davis can't get beat there. As a corner that of his caliber as we expect him to be, as a number 1, you cannot get beaten that bad. He got beat that bad, and that's really the reason they lost in the end. But obviously, not the only reason. Browns offense, my bad. They did try to do a little bit. They tried to be more creative. Nick Chubb got all the yards though, because again, the offensive line, in my opinion, did not block well. I mean, they created the hole they needed to, but it wasn't very good. I'll give them a plus offensively though. Honestly, they really struggled to move the ball. Being completely honest with you, but they did come through in the end. Give them 2 pluses, but I don't think they played super duper well. Defensively, Myles Garrett had 1.5 sacks, and Denzel Ward was clamped. No one was getting open. Their defense, I'll actually give them 4, which I don't think I've ever given. But yeah, 4 pluses. The reason I give 5, 6, 7, or anything like that is because The run defense was abysmal. Just the fact they couldn't fit it, and obviously they're playing well against Tom Brady. The pressure wasn't perfect either. It wasn't a perfect game, but again, they came through really well in the end. Now for the stinker of the week, Broncos and Panthers. Here are the highlights for this. Really, here are the lowlights. That's all I gotta say.
Charlotte, North Carolina. The Panthers hoping for their third straight home win.
Two-scoring defense updated. It's a fake, and they only needed a couple of yards. It looked like they got it. It opened inside the 35, and run out of bounds right there is DJ Moore. For the end zone, DJ Moore has it, and yeah! That fumbles the football. Brandon McManus delivers. 42-yard try for Eddie Pinheiro. 19 out of 21, make the 20 out of 22. Finds a hole, Latavius Murray puts a move on. He's off and running. Loose is Murray. All the It's more of a fumble. I think the ruling on the field is this is a fumble. Let's take a look. Hubbard, that's Sam Darnold keeping to the goal line. Chuba Hubbard is in. Fake to him. Darnold has been steady, going deep for DJ Moore, and he's got it! But the Panthers under Steve Wilkes are trying to stay undefeated. A short kick. Broncos getting loose is Jalen Virgil on the return. All the way out near the 35-yard line. Clarence, former Bronco, part of the Fox broadcasting crew, was a popular. Wilson floats one. Oh, yes, he got to it. Time. Russell Wilson is going to go down. Wilson, end zone, caught. Touchdown, Broncos.
This game was so bad. Broncos, you could argue, were the worst team in the NFL. Second worst, probably. They're really bad. I mean, this was awful. I mean, they got their absolute butts kicked. Lost 23-10 to the Panthers. Panthers won 3 straight home games. They're respectable at home. 23-10 win, obviously. Russell Wilson was god-awful. 19-35, 142 touchdown. He had no pocket awareness. Didn't throw any sort of deep ball forever. And obviously, they ran the ball really well. Probably should have ran the ball a lot more. Nathaniel Hackett, he's a terrible coach. Cortland Sutton was their leading receiver. I actually think he's had a decent season. Obviously, he's not been great, but he had a decent game. Kenan, okay, 5 for 35 as a backup. Greg Dulcich, robbed with a touchdown, but that was really it. Brandon Johnson had a touchdown as well. They were absolutely horrid on offense. Defensively, I mean, they were pretty good. I just don't think they covered DJ Moore. That's the reason they lost. Defensively, Brandon McManus should have hit a field goal as well. Panthers. Sam Darnold was respectable, 11 of 19, 164 touchdown. A bad touchdown, but I mean, a touchdown is a touchdown run. They ran the ball really well. Chuba Hubbard, bruised, and then Stanley Foreman just took it. DJ Moore, again, he couldn't get covered. I don't think Sam Darnold did a good job getting him the ball as much as he could, but again, at least he throws it to him. That's all I got there. Offensively, they weren't very good, but they had a very good game up front. That's all I gotta say. Defensively, Frankie Lavu is their MVP this season. He's been very good. Brian Burns, of course, is their best player on the whole team. He had 2 sacks, though. Marquis Saints had a sack as well. Very good guy off the edge. Not very consistent, but again, he's kind of old. Well, is he? Yeah, he's 28. Well, he's not old, but he's not young. Brandon Smith is a mess, but he had a sack. He had a tackle, so good for him. He could be so good, but again, he's just so raw. Again, the Broncos they're so bad. 37 minutes of action time. This was an absolute domination. Yeah, they had 2 fumbles they lost, but let's be honest. The Panthers aren't one fumble loss. They're not a great team. 2-1 turnover battle. This was a really bad loss for the Broncos, and obviously they suck. So, yeah, that's really all I got for this game. Let's get right to the keys of the game grades for both teams. And speaking of the Broncos, use Marlon Mack out of the backfield on 3rd down. They did that a couple times. Russ has to create big plays. They didn't. Offensively, another bad week, 5 minuses. The reason I'm not giving 7, again, because I'll give them 6. Because they were really bad, but again, at least they're able to run the ball. That's at least some hope. But the Panthers defense is actually pretty good. Yeah, they're not great. Let's be honest, they're not great. But I mean, when they've been better than they were last year. Honestly, they've been a lot better than they were last year, in my opinion, especially on film. Yeah, statistically last year they weren't actually a bad defense. But I don't think they kept their offense in games, which is the reason they lost it. This year they're actually doing that. Broncos defense under 15 points. They tried, I guess. Sam Darnold did get blitzed, and they did not play as aggressive as I thought they would outside, and they kind of got burned because of it. Obviously, they were just indecisive in the end. Defensively, a little bit of a letdown. I'll give them a minus, but they really weren't terrible. Like, honestly, they weren't very good. I'll give them 2 minuses, but that was, you could argue that's their worst game of the season. But I actually don't think they played that well. They weren't giving up a lot. Their offense, like, 3 and outs, like, how many times? Like, 8 times. They were really, really bad. Let's get to the Panthers. Okay, now for the Carolina. They did run the ball a lot. They did get 20 points, and they threw the ball downfield, which is good, because offensively, I'll actually give them 5 pluses. That's probably their best game of the season. That's probably the best game of the season. They made the Broncos defense frustrated. That's really the reason they won. Defensively, they just pushed Russ out and forced him to throw over the middle, which he wasn't able to, and that's the reason they won, at least defensively. So, 5 pluses again. Panthers played a very, very good game for their standards. Again, not very low, so not very high. Okay, next game, Falcons Commanders. This game was really good. Obviously, a little ugly, but entertaining at least.
Has coincided with Taylor Heineke commanding the reins at quarterback. Younghoe Koo.
This is McLaurin across the football field.
Catch made by Robinson out of the backfield. He powers ahead. What a play by the rookie. For a stop. Mariota under pressure. Floats it left side, and Michael Pruitt is wide open. Man who knows that rivalry well. Virginia Tech gives to Patterson. Oh, this is going to be very close. Wet turf out there today. Heineke deep drop. Down the middle, he threw it away. Younghoe Koo cannot connect. Long, 4-man rush. Heineke towards the sticks. And it's McLaurin coming back against A.J. Terrell. No running. It's Robinson, and he finds the hole for the first down. Now a fake. Heineke, end zone, got him in! It's caught for the touchdown by John Bates. Good strike. Nice solid strike. There is a flag thrown though. Fake to Patterson. Mariota under pressure gets back up and ends up finding Zacchaeus for a huge gain. Mariota. The pass, it's deflected in the air. It is picked off potentially. Williams is 47 yards away at the 25. Pressure got there. Down goes Wade.
And in this one, the Commanders, close one, 19-13 win. They won their 3rd in a row. They're 6-1 since week 7, I think. No, yeah, since week 5. But the Falcons obviously fall 5-7. Typical game for them. Obviously, they're kind of like the same team as last year. Obviously, they win a game, they lose a game, they win a game, they lose a game. Easy schedule, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, they're not a great team. But yeah, they're still in the playoff race. Mariota, 15 of 25, 174 touchdown interception. He was pretty bad. Made some good throws in the pocket. Obviously, gave some pressure as well. But serviceable game for him. I just don't think he played great. They ran the ball really freaking well. Both teams really did. Made Zacchaeus had 91 yards and 5 catches. No, Drake London wasn't very productive. Michael Pruitt was really good in blocking, but he did have a touchdown as well receiving. Rashaan Evans did have 8 tackles, but that was really their whole defense. Like, obviously, Michael Walker had an interception, 8 assists, but like, they really didn't have to make many tackles because they were so good in coverage. And obviously, no Kumis to field goal at halftime. Taylor Heineke, awful interception. He really wasn't very good passing, but again, with the conditions, give him a break there. 14 of 23, 138, 2 touchdowns. They ran the ball better than they have the whole season, that's for sure. Brian Robinson had 105 yards, 5.8 yards per carry, which is really good. Terry McLaurin, 448. Again, still their number one receiver. Touchdown by both Brian Robertson Jr. and John Bates in the receiving game. Of course, Kenneth Fuller had the huge game-winning interception. He's been having a down year. Montez Sweat had a sack. He's gotten pressure. He was getting pressure the whole game. Jonathan Allen getting penetration. Maybe not as much as usual, but definitely good enough to win. Then eventually they were locked down, obviously. Statistically, again, pretty low yardage game. It was really even overall. I do think the fact that the Commanders were a little more physical is the reason they won it. Obviously, they had the ball longer. Turnover battle was the same, though. Falcons only gave one sack to 0 sacks is a big difference as well. That's what I got there. Let's get right to the keys of the game. Break grades for both these teams. And for this Falcons offense, run the ball for over 200 yards, not even close. Kyle Pitts, I don't even think he played. Marcus Mariota was okay. Offensively, I'll actually give them an underscore. I really don't think they played super bad. They came through when they need to. I just don't think, again, they just didn't convert in the red zone. And as well, I mean, they couldn't really throw the ball a lot. They did run the ball well, though, so that's good there. Falcons defense, again, I'll actually give them a plus. They got after Heineke, but they didn't get a sack. They didn't shut down the run, and they didn't get off the field on third down. They forced a couple turnovers. The Falcons really didn't play that bad of a game, which is the fact the conditions weren't good, and really offensively they were just around average. Let's get to the Commanders. And the hot streak for the Commanders continues. Obviously, Taylor Heineke didn't have a great game, but Antonio Gibson and Brian Robinson did have a very good game in their own rights. I'll actually give them a plus offensively. Obviously, a couple falters, but they came through in the end. Commanders defense, they're actually the reason they won this. I'll actually give them 5 pluses. They've been so good. They continue this. They actually probably will definitely have a spot in the playoffs. They'll definitely beat the Giants next week, that's for sure. So that's what I got there for the Commanders. Let's get to the next game. This obviously was a stinker, but I think the debate over Zach Wilson is definitely over after this one. We'll see. One game, obviously, Mike White had one really good game last year. But here are the highlights for another good Mike White game.
I mean, if Zach continues to struggle, do you have to go to Mike?
No, that's the furthest thing on my mind. Like I've told you guys before, Zach's our quarterback.
Do you feel like you let the defense down at all?
No. That we're keeping everything on the table over the next couple of days.
Who's your quarterback, Robert?
We're going to roll with Mike White.
Well, the New York Jets are right in the playoff hunt, and they roll with Mike White as the Chicago Bears roll into town on a cold and rainy day. The game for the first time, a running back. He angles out, throw to the end zone, and Garrett Wilson has a touchdown. Cairo Santos, who had his first miss in almost a year last week in the loss against Atlanta, bangs this one through.
The shot this afternoon.
Turkey of the egg this week, right? Simeon with the deep throw, wants Claypool, Chase Claypool has the catch for the middle, threads it through, and Pringle pulls it away. Threads the needle for Elijah Moore. Breaks a tackle. Big gain on his first touch. This drop. Braden Mann's in trouble. Throw it away. It's picked up by the Bears and Joe Thomas. It's still loose, and here comes Jones. It's like a wet bar of soap. The routes develop. One of his first downfield shots has Garrett Wilson. Makes field goal miss. Turns on the afterburners. He's gone. Touchdown Jets. From 57. Legatron with a line drive. Good. Today on 3rd and 4, he'll look to throw. End zone Moore. Touchdown Jets. Mike White. How about him?
Balls that came in with a little bit of velocity on him underneath in the middle of the field.
Ty Johnson this time. Steps out of the tackle. Into the secondary. Stays on his feet and scores. 57 today. This from 53. It fades a little bit wide.
As good as you get out there on the outside.
Simeon gets intercepted.
And at MetLife, my bad, and in East Rutherford, New Jersey, the Jets came on top and blew out the Bears 31-10. I mean, Trevor Simeon actually wasn't super bad, 14 to 25, 179 touchdown interception. They didn't run the ball enough, though. That's what I got there, really. Darrington getting 9 carries is inexcusable. David Montgomery was very good, though. Trevor Simeon wasn't perfect, made some really awful throws, but, pretty spread out receiving game. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 guys getting targeted. Byron Pringle had a touchdown as well. They were not good offensively. Jack Sanborn had a couple of big missed tackles. Of course, if you saw the Ty Johnson touchdown, he broke the first tackle he broke was on Jack Sanborn. He's just a football player, really. Obviously, he's not very athletic, but 10 tackles, 4 assists. He could definitely be a star in a couple of years. For years coming. Obviously, DeAndre Houston-Carson is literally just a big hitter. Can't really cover. Armin Watson had a big sack, though. They really didn't do much other than that defensively. They were pretty putrid tackling. Jets. Mike White was pretty good. So 22 of 28, 3 touchdowns. He was very decisive. That's what you need in the quarterback for the Jets. Michael Carter really stunk it up. Zonovan Knight. I don't know who the heck this dude is, but I can tell you one thing. He can run. Yeah, he can run a darn football. Did not really get why he was playing, but he was. And he and James Robinson are their guys. Of course, Ty Johnson had a touchdown on 62 yards, so that's pretty good. Obviously, 130-yard run was really different, but he was sufficient other than that. So I do think Michael Carter is the 4th running back now. Like, yeah, Donovan Knight, give him one more game, but still, like, they've got 4 running backs, which is a really good problem to have. Garrett Wilson, best game of his career so far, 595, 2 touchdowns. Elijah Moore, of course, had that long touchdown as well. Defensively, DJ Reed was pretty good. Sauce, I mean, I didn't even see a play from him. Like, they didn't even, attempt to throw the ball. Bryce Huff and John Franco Myers both had, and Van Trumper combined for 2 sacks. And TJ Mosley had a red zone interception, correct? Because one, of course, missed 1 field goal. Statistically, just dominated everything. And ball longer, obviously, 1-0 turnovers. Yeah, that's really all I got. That's a wrap for that. Let's get right to the keys of the game grades for both these teams. And for this Bears offense, center the offense around to Evan Montgomery and jump balls with Chase Claypool 3 most times. They did it more, they probably would have kept this game closer. Offensively, I got him 3 minuses. The execution just was not good by the head coaches and the offense as well. Bears defense just don't give up 400 yards and 40 points. They gave up close to that. Defensively, they were really bad. Through 5 minuses, they were really, really freaking bad. Too many big plays they couldn't tackle as well. The Bears laid an absolute egg. Obviously, with the backup quarterback, that's kind of what's going to happen, especially when the Jets have Mike White now. But let's get right over to them now. And for the Jets offense, they ran the ball really well. Play action boots, absolutely offensively 5 pluses. They really no complaints. Jets defense contained the running game and tee off on the QB. They could have been better in the running game. That's why I won't give them 5 pluses. But 10 points against is 10 points against, and they definitely kept their offense. They really kept them ahead, and that's huge. That's why I'll give them a plus. No, they kept the onus, obviously, off the offense, which is huge. Now let's get to the Bengals and Titans. Obviously, this game was really weird ending, but it's how it ended.
Once again, these 2 head coaches and teams will go head-to-head. The kickoff is next. He walked on at Iowa. 33-yard attempt. Trying to tie the game from 47 yards out. He connects. Throw it to Henry. Henry getting to the outside. Look out! Derrick Henry! The king is on his way! Loses the football and scooped up. Gets out of it. Looking. Floats it. It's caught. Give it to him. D-Ryan slipping through for the touchdown. 35-yard attempt for the rookie. Shootout. It's no good. Straight through. Fake the handoff. Tannehill looking. Tannehill gonna take a deep shot. Downfield. Burks goes up and gets it. 24-yarder. He nails it. So the Bengals are in business. Burrow uncorks it. End zone. Touchdown. He nails it. Rose upstairs. T. Higgins. He brings it in. He can foul.
Number 97.
Oh, that's a crusher.
Defense for a hit on a defenseless player. Half the distance to the goal. Automatic. First down.
Kevin Strong.
And for the whole country, the Bengals showed the Titans that they blew it. Yeah, the Titans blew it 2nd straight year, 2nd straight game. Second straight, literally same atmosphere, obviously not same game, situation, but in front of the whole country, they blew it again. Obviously, this time it was Kevin Strong. It was not Ryan Tannehill. Joe Burrow, 22 of 37, 270 touchdown. He was phenomenal. Really, really, really poised in the pocket, which is huge. They didn't run ball for crap, but they really couldn't run the ball whatsoever. So Major Piran did have a touchdown, though. T. Higgins, of course, had that big touchdown. He wasn't actually, I don't think he got so much separation as more just jump ball, which came back to his roots at Clemson. Hayden Hurst had 6 for 57, though. No one else really did anything. Tyler Boyd struggled mightily. The secondary I'll tell you this, the secondary for the Titans was very good. Okay, Sam Hubbard had a sack. Yeah, I didn't really care about this defense. Yeah, they basically stopped Derrick Henry other than that 70-yard catch. Cam Taylor got a lot of balls thrown at him, and he was up for the challenge for part of it, but that was really it. They stopped the run like I expected them to. They fit the run better than any team, in my opinion, in the NFL. Maybe the Green Bay Packers, well, not tonight. Not last night, but either way, yeah. They fit the run really freaking well. Basically every week against a really good running back. Titans, Ryan Tannehill, 22 of 34, 291. He was very good. I do think he should have pushed the ball downfield a little more than he did, which wasn't really saying anything because he did it anyway. But yeah. Derrick Henry really struggled on the ground at that one long catch and run. Obviously fumbled, but Traylon Burks picked it up. And Chumuzim Okonkwo didn't have a big play, but he had 3 catches for 35 yards. Austin Hooper was serviceable in the blocking game, though. G.L. Swim, why is he on the field? I really don't know. He struggles blocking. He can't really do anything in the receiving game. Probably should get cut. DeMarcus Walker had a sack, though. Defensively, they just didn't really do anything particularly great, but they stopped the run. They made Joe Burrow uncomfortable. That's really all you can ask. When it's all said and done, obviously they blew it at the end, though. Caleb Shudak missed a kick as well. Obviously, rookie, first undrafted, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Expect him to miss one. It was a really even game, other than the fact that the Bengals had 108 rushing yards to 63, which obviously isn't great. But again, Bengals can hit the run really well. No turnovers, was a really clean game. It was a really well-played game as well. The Bengals came out in the end because, again, the Titans really just blew it. That's all I got there. Okay, Bengals offense. They really didn't run the ball well. I was kind of surprised with that. But Joe Burrow was really cool. And, yeah, he only had one sack, which isn't terrible. He didn't turn over the ball, though. So, offensively, I will give them a plus. They couldn't actually move the football very well, as much as you might think they were able to. Joe Burrow was just really good. That's all I got there. Bengals defense do exactly what you did against the Titans in the division run. It worked somewhat, but, again, they stopped the run. That was really all I got to say. 5 pluses off defensively. You know, I'll give them, yeah. Because they frustrated Ryan Tannehill. He wanted to take the ball outside the numbers. They just didn't let him, which was huge for them. Obviously, they shut down Robert Woods as well, which was, again, huge for them. Defensively, they basically did everything right except that 70-yard catch and run touchdown, which was pretty crazy. But now let's get over the Titans. Okay, Titans offense. I mean, they should have gave the ball to Dontrell Hilliard because, again, I just didn't think it was going to be good for them with Derrick Henry this game because, again, they were just fitting the run really well with him. But Ryan Tannehill did not turn over the football, which is really all you can ask. I do think he, 2 touchdowns, it would have been hard to do. He basically already had one. But offensively, I will give them an underscore. I actually think they played pretty decent against a defense that honestly is really good, at least against them. They did the job. Titans defense, again, they just blew it in the end. I'll give them a minus. Both these teams actually played pretty good. Yeah, they did get after Burrow. But they did give him the ability to get the ball out quick against the press coverage. And the fact that, again, they blew at the end. It was really just special teams. That's the reason they lost this game. That's why I'm giving them a minus. Now let's get over the Chargers and Cardinals. This game was crazy. Two of the games we're about to talk about. Highlights, here we go.
From Glendale, Arizona, home of Super Bowl 57. Hunter again. Beecham was pulling. Blocked in there by the tight end, Williams. Fumble on the play. Chargers think they... Blitz is on. Down the middle. He's got the wide open Hopkins with a spinning broken tackle. Taking it into the end zone. Touchdown, Cardinal. Murray, crumbling pocket. He got away. Finding the escape hatch. Chased on the play by Mack. And downfield season long. 9 of 9. From 43. The drive, it's Allen for 6. Regardless of where they are, 4th down, less than a yard. Murray, and he's got Hopkins, and intercepted on the play by James. And you're not a doctor, are you? There was a block in there by Kelly, and downfield, wide open, touchdown, DeAndre Carter. Time is an issue. Here comes the rush by Gaziano, and there goes the quarterback in for 6. Field goal try. Perfect this season. Until right there. Struggle kicks coming in. Drills it for Murray. Blocked by Beecham. Oh, he's got Connor, and he's got a touchdown! Ball deflected and intercepted. Down in 7. The blitz up the middle. Simmons got him. Simmons coming through.
It's out in the end zone here.
Herbert. He'll have his choice. And Eckler. Touchdown.
Backfield.
Trying for 2. Got it. They've got the lead. It's the tight end, Jared Everett. Zero's on the clock. Looking downfield and broken up. The Chargers win.
And in Arizona, the Chargers survived Arizona 6-5 now, 25-24. Very close win over the Cardinals. Probably will make the playoffs. Of course, Cardinals started 4-8. They're really bad. Justin Herbert clutch 35-47, 274, 3 touchdowns. Austin Eckler got 5 carries. That's inexcusable. That's all I'll say there. They don't run the ball though. Like they just don't. Obviously, it's going to come back to bite them in other games, but they got through this one. Justin Herbert was pretty decent on the ground as well. Was actually their leading rusher somehow. Austin Eckler was their best receiver for sure. DeAndre Carter was very good though, 7 for 73 and touchdown. Keenan Allen couldn't really get open because they were really just putting everyone on him. 5 for 46 and touchdown. Josh Bomber quiet, 5 for 56, but pretty good production. Of course, Austin Eckler had the game-winning touchdown and 2-point conversion. Drew Tranquill. Okay. He was not great, but he got the job done, and that's all you can ask from him. Of course, Joe James had that great interception. Michael Davis had the sack. Defensively, they actually played pretty well. Kyler, I want to say this, he looked really good. 18 of 29, 191, 2 touchdowns. Bad interception, but it really wasn't even that bad of an interception. James Conner, 25 for 120. Fumble, but was efficient, I guess. Kyler, of course, did the touchdown run. D-Hop wasn't very consistent in terms of production-wise, but 4 for 87 touchdown will get it done. James Conner, of course, receiving touchdown. Marquise Brown, 6 for 46. Surprise, Robbie Anderson only got 1 target, which was a bomb for 17 yards. It might not have been looked like a bomb, but it was a bomb. It was, in my opinion, it was a really good throw. But yeah, offensively, they scored enough. Their defense just did not show up in this one. Isaiah Simmons, 8 tackles and a sack. He was actually pretty good, but they had 4 sacks, but again, the secondary was pretty atrocious, being honest there. Matt Prater missed the kick as well. Total stats, obviously, both teams had a lot of yards. Cardinals outplayed them, in my opinion, but again, they just 2 turnovers, really bad turnovers, and the fact that, well, they kind of blew it at the end. It was the reason they lost this. And for the Chargers offense, Austin Eckler did not get enough touches, but they did take some shots, which, maybe not on the sideline, but they took their shot once in a while. Offensively, did not like their execution, but they did get it done in the end, which is huge plus for them. Defensively, I don't think they were very good. I do think the Cardinals had their number, but when they came down to converting when they needed to, like really getting off the field, they were able to. Chargers played a pretty decent game. Don't think they all got outplayed for sure, but again, the Cardinals just, again, blew it. And for Arizona, throw the ball 45 plus times. They actually might have. I don't even know. I don't think they did, though. D-Hop has to be able to the same side concept with Marquise Brown and Robbie Anderson. That was poorly executed, but again, they outplayed them. That's why I will give them an underscore. 2 bad turnovers, but I really do think their defense, they got to make a stop there, especially when you got they played well, again. Just, you got to make a stop there. You have to, especially against a team where you got beaten them. You just hold one more time, they win it. They definitely kept them under 100 rushing yards. They didn't really blitz Herbert the way I thought they would, but it worked okay. Okay, let's get to the next game, Raiders-Seahawks. This game was crazy.
This is noisy Lumen Field, the home of the Seattle Seahawks, co-leaders of the NFC West. Today, they welcome the Las Vegas Raiders.
Play fake. Over the middle.
Oh!
Intercepted!
Pickups or interceptions this year.
Walker to the end zone. Touchdown!
Watch him try to isolate on a linebacker.
Carr with time, throwing, got his man, touchdown! Amir Abdullah. This is a 2nd and 8. Fake that time to Jacobs, and the pass is intercepted. 35. Lockett out in the pattern. Pass to the end zone, and that is dropped down and caught to take the lead. Jason Myers. Smith going to go down the sideline, has a man open, and he's got it. And the kick is good. Off for a little flea flicker. Carr now throwing, and wide open is Mac Hollins. Hollins down the sideline for the touchdown. Whip time over the middle, intercepted. Picked off by Denzel Perryman. And
Eric Carr on the 30-yard line.
Jacobs. 5. Jacobs breaking free, going to the end zone for the touchdown. Gino going to go deep down the sideline. Got a man. Touchdown. Tyler Lockett. 6. Walker to the 5. Pushing his way to the end zone. Did he get there? He did.
Field goal.
Carlson from 25 yards out.
Detroit, has he been able to pass 100 yards?
Lost the football. It's on the turf. Who's got it? The pitch for Jacobs. Can't get there.
Walker.
Geno Smith going to throw for it. He's got it. This is Homer. Homer to the 5. To the end zone. Touchdown.
with running room right up the middle. Jacobs is on his way. The Raiders are going to win this game.
And in this crazy one, if you didn't remember before, a couple years ago, the Raiders, it was actually the same score for the Seahawks. Yeah, they were on the other side of it, 40-30 win for them. But obviously now it's the other way with a different team, obviously. Raiders win 40-34 in overtime. Josh Jacobs, hear this, 303 scrimmage yards. That is absolutely bananas. That is crazy. He had 2 touchdowns, though. Game of his career, I doubt he'll have anything ever close to that, but again, he was their whole offense. Devontae Adams was actually pretty productive. Derek Carr, I'd say this, one horrible interception to start the game. But the other one, I don't think actually was that bad. Derek Carr, 25, 36, 295, 3 touchdowns, though. They had like 500-something yards. It was ridiculous. Obviously, Josh Jacobs had like a lot of yards on that 86-yard walk-off touchdown, but hey, 86 yards is 86 yards. Matt Collins had a touchdown, same with Rami Abdullah and Foster Moreau. They were all good touchdowns. Offensively, again, they were just so good. Defensively, okay. Their defense was horrible. I mean, horrible until the end of the game when Max Crosby bailed them out. Chandler Jones was very, very good in terms of opportunistic play, but like other than that, he wasn't very good. Henry Billings had a sack. Bill Nichols had half a sack. Denzel Perryman had an interception. Daniel Carson, of course, missed that field goal. I thought the game was over there, but again, Geno Smith did not get the ball quick enough. Obviously, didn't have a throw. It was a little pedestrian, obviously, the bad interception, but 328 yards, 2 touchdowns, 27-37 was really good. The fact they can't run the ball is really concerning because they haven't won when they can't run the ball. DK Metcalf, a lot of short passes. The course was pretty good. The athletes really cut off there. Really spread the ball out. Obviously, Travis Homer and Tyler Lockett both had touchdowns. Defensively, they were horrible. They were even worse than the Raiders were. Quandre Dix had 2 interceptions, 2 and a 4 and had a sack. That was really their whole defense. Those were even then, their run defense was so bad. They could not fit the run for their life. Yards, 576 total yards for the Raiders. That is absolutely, absurd. Okay, Falcons. Didn't the Texans have 600 yards? 592 yards? 576 yards. You cannot give that up any day of the week. And they had the ball the whole game as well. So, I don't care what you do offensively. When you give up that many yards, you're going to lose. Let's get to the keys of the game for grades for both teams. Okay, Raiders offense run the ball with Josh Jacobs, and Devontae Adams 10+ targets. I might give them 10. No, I'm going to give them 7. I'll give them 8. They had 576 total yards. The only reason the game wasn't a maybe not a blowout, but the reason they didn't score 50 points is simply for the fact that they had 2 bad turnovers. That was literally the only difference. I would give them 9 and 10. Maybe not 10. 10 is if you score 50 points and you're they're not stopping you. A perfect game, which never happens. So I will give them 8 because they were really freaking good, but Jesus. Defensively, they were horrible, but I mean they did stop them. 3 minuses, I'll give them 2 minuses, but they were not good. They were just not good. They got way too many yards. But came through in the end. Max Crosby bailed them out, and they did shut down Kenneth Walker, which kind of gets past the keys of the game thing, but still, they were not very good. Seahawks time. And for Seattle, Geno has to make throws in soft parts of the zone on the run. Maybe not on the run, but he was making a lot of good throws. Obviously, that one bad interception got pressured as well. Okay, offensively, I will give them 4 pluses. Again, that bad interception. They couldn't run the ball as well. That was a little concerning, but they stayed in it. They kept pace, which is good to see. Seahawks defense don't blow it on 3rd and short. I might give them 10. I'll give them 7. To be fair, they were on the field a lot more than they should have been, and they set the tone early, but then again, they sucked the rest of the game. That's why I'm giving them 7, because again, I've seen a lot worse games than they played. We got 576 yards. It's just inexcusable in any measure of the imagination. That's all I got for this one. Obviously, it was a wild game. Now let's get to the worst game of the week for sure. Saints and 49ers. Here are probably the lowlights.
To the fair in the NFC as the San Francisco 49ers, winners of 3 straight, are home to take on the New Orleans Saints. Alongside Mark Saints.
Backfield to get away from penetration from Hufanga. The ball popping out.
Potentially up top on the other side of the field. Regardless, it falls to the turf and goes to work.
Open over the middle, caught, and a first down. Brandon Ayuk in the Saints territory.
Garoppolo got it out of his hands quickly. It is caught by Jawan Jennings. Kittle in motion. Garoppolo off the play fake. Wants to run. He's not going to get there. Garoppolo, late pressure, throws, deflected.
Once again, the Saints defense holding them to a field goal. That's a win, in my book.
Robbie still on his feet. Taysom Hill
trying to make a play, and it's dropped. Throws it short. Kamara at the 3, at the 2. Ball is out. Ball is out. Caroming around, pinballing around at the 1-yard line. Play clock at 2. Dalton gets the shotgun snap. Dalton backside pressure. Bosa got him.
Okay, and what was probably the worst game of this year? 49ers get their first shutout since 2019. 13-zip win over the Saints. Saints are awful, now 4-8. 49ers are 7-4. Good one for you guys who've won your 4th in a row. Andy Dalton was pretty pedestrian. They were horrible in the red zone. That's all you need to know there. Crystal Olave had 5 for 62, though. That was literally their whole offense. Rashid Shaheed had 1 big catch. Okay. Their defense was on the field way too much, and Shai Tuttle had a sack, but they were making every tackle where they needed to. Maybe not as much pressure as you wanted, but they weren't missing any tackles, which is huge. 49ers side, Jimmy Garoppolo was pretty indecisive, to say the least. 26-37, 22 touchdown. The receivers couldn't get open, but Juwan Jennings did have a touchdown, and they didn't run the ball really that well at all. Elijah Mitchell got 7 carries for 35 yards. A couple of those were get held back, though, as well, so you got to keep that in mind. George Kittle, probably his worst game of the season, but he's been hot and cold this year. Talunu Fungo was really good. Eventually, they were obviously shutout's really good. Nick Bosa had a sack. The ball was moved on them, though. It wasn't like they were perfect, but they were really good. Statistically, teams actually pulled out a lot of yardage. Well, not a lot of yards, but they had a pretty, those teams could move the ball at least. But 49ers, 2 fumbles, lost to 0 turnovers is pretty good. They were pretty bad offensively, though. They couldn't do a lot. And obviously, up front, both defenses seemingly dominated their points. That's what I got there. Let's get right to the keys of the game grades for both these teams. For the Saints offense, okay, they didn't do anything I wanted them to, literally nothing. Even then, Jesus, they were really freaking bad. 6 minuses, they got shut out, but they were able to move the football, which is okay, I guess. I'll give them 7, but they were able to move the football, which is saying something. Saints defense shut down CNC, they were able to, but defensively, they actually played a really good game. I'll give them 5 pluses. I'd say they probably should have got off the field a little faster than they did, but it was night and day between their defense and offense. Okay, for the Niners, 40 plus rushing attempts. Maybe. Deep shots off of that. They didn't take any deep shots. Well, they have one, Brennan Ayuk. Okay, defense for the 49ers offense. They were not god-awful, but they weren't anything impressive. I'll give them a minus. That was a dud game. Defensively, shutout 6 pluses. They weren't, perfect, but shutout's a shutout.
They have deferred, and so the Chiefs will get it first. And here we go from Kansas City, and they will start on the 25-yard line. More. Oh, fumbles! It is loose on the ground, and the Rams are going to pick it up. Mahomes, a lot of time. Now over the middle. He's got his man. Kelsey at the 15. Gets a block inside the 5, and he's in. Jay's kick is up and right down the middle. And that is perfect. And it's Justin Watson back to return. Sky Moore fumble. Oh, it's a fake. Dixon throws a bullet coming to the near side. Make it a 10-point game. And that kick is smashed. Does a straight handoff. Pacheco dances up the middle and in. Touchdown, Kansas City. Pressure. Perkins in trouble. Lob swung. Complete to Tuakwell. Perkins gonna throw. Blitz coming. Picked up. Throws. End zone caught for the touchdown. Oh, back shoulder. Beauty to Smith-Schuster. Fake. Mahomes looking deep, throwing deep, and it is caught. Valdez-Scantling. Mahomes pumps, looks, throws, intercepted in the end zone. Nick Scott has
rhythm in the passing game. Let him keep rolling.
He will here. Great block to give him time, and now throws, and that is intercepted. And he's got his 3rd field goal of the game. Together, Perkins tipped down the line, and that's intercepted. Nick Bolton's got that to the 35. Still on his feet inside the 30. Taylor Rapp again. He's been active. Up and through.
And in this phenomenal game, I'll just put it this way. The Chiefs, the Rams put up a fight, but they weren't going to win this. Chiefs won 26-10. I wouldn't say with ease, but they beat the Rams. Chiefs go to 9-2. What have they won? 5 in a row now? Dang. Yeah, they're really good. Of course, Rams fall to 3-8. They've lost 5 in a row, 7 out of their last 8. They've had a tough year. Nothing's gone right. Not even one thing. Like, Sean McVay probably broke his jaw or something. I don't even know. Bryce Perkins in the third string actually wasn't super terrible. 13 of 23, 100 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. They ran the ball actually pretty darn well. Kyron Williams did not get utilized right, but he wasn't great anyway. 11 for 35. Van Jefferson, 3 for 29 touchdown. Again, they didn't really throw the ball for many yards. I'll just say that. Defensively, Taylor Rapp was god-awful. Like, he's horrible. I mean, he makes tackles in the run game, but even though he missed a lot of tackles. Ernest Jones, very good. He's very underrated as well. Nick Scott, I like Nick Scott. Obviously, not the greatest in coverage, but he doesn't really miss many tackles. He's okay. I guess he had a big interception, obviously. Troy Hill had 3 tackles. Jalen Ramsey had 3 tackles. Of course, got cooked by Travis Kelce on that touchdown. But after that, he was locked down. Aaron Donald had 3 tackles as well. Okay, now going over the Chiefs. Mahomes, bad interception in the red zone, but he was great otherwise. 27 for 42, 320 touchdown. They didn't run the ball for their life. Travis Kelce, of course, had the touchdown. Mark MVS had 1 big catch. Juju was pretty good. Kai Moore had a couple catches. Yeah. Defensively, Nick Bolton, I actually think was really good. He had 8 tackles, interception. Jarius Sneed had interception. He had 5 tackles. They were up front dominant. They had 3 sacks. Obviously, they didn't have to play that well to win this. Let's be honest. They could have played their D game and still won this because, again, the Rams super injured. Their offense is, again, still horrible. And, yeah, it's tough. Statistically, I mean, like, that just tells you everything. Like, it was a tough one. They were good in the running game, though. It was pretty even there. The Chiefs and the Baltimore, turnovers are actually the same, though, somehow. This was a muff punt. Sacks, Rams, they're just, again, brutally destroyed up front. Total plays, 72 to 55. Chiefs only punted once, was again in the first quarter. They had the ball a lot longer. Yeah, they dominated this game, as expected. The Rams did put up a fight, though. They were, Chiefs were 1 for 6 in the red zone, and, yeah, the Rams put up a fight. Okay, Rams offense, they did try to do some stuff. Of course, Allen Robinson not playing was, like, really bad. He's actually out for the whole season. Of course he is. The Rams' 2 best receivers are out for the whole season. Their offensive line is out for the whole season. Their quarterback out for the whole season. When you lose all that, you're not going to win any freaking games. Your defense, they're out for the whole game. Yeah, and even when you had everyone, they still sucked. Rams offense, okay. They put up a fight, which means I'll give them an underscore. They could have been a little better, but, like, again, yeah. Rams defense, actually, again, they got the job done. I'll actually give them a plus because 26 points is respectable against the Chiefs. Especially, this is kind of like the game. I actually don't think the Rams played really that bad. Again, you got to expect nothing out of this team because, again, they really suck. I hope they can win on Christmas because it's really the only game I think they can win. Maybe they beat the Raiders. I really don't know. But, yeah, that's all I got there. Let's get to the Chiefs. Offensively, they really weren't very good, that good. Obviously, they didn't really do what I expected them to, but again, they moved the football pretty well. Offensively, actually, they just give an underscore. They were pretty good. I honestly don't think they played that great, but they came through when they needed to. The defense didn't have to try, and when you don't have to try and you only give up 10 points, I'd say it was pretty good. I'll actually give them a plus. I don't think it was just the Rams' offense struggling, because, again, they suck, but the defense actually played well for the Chiefs. Yeah. It was a massacre. It wasn't a massacre, which is what I'm happy about. We didn't get absolutely humiliated, but we lost, obviously. Now let's get to Sunday Night Football. This one was a disaster, but I mean, it was somewhat entertaining, I guess.
The rain has moved out. It's a mild final Sunday of November in Philadelphia, and 70,000 ending Thanksgiving weekend in South Philly. Hurts stepping up, got away from the man who was policing him, and Hurts gets the first down and more. A foul for a horse collar. 3rd and 6. Hurts design run takes off. Easily the first down. Hurts on his way. First and goal.
One from the quarterback position first against the Philadelphia Eagles.
From the 4, Gainwell slams it inside. Injury. Pressure up the middle. Rodgers escapes the sack, keeps it alive, fires towards Lazard. It's deflected and intercepted to Sanders to the end zone. Touchdown again. What a start for the Eagles. Dillon up the middle. A.J. Dillon to the end zone. Touchdown. And Rodgers looking up top. Fires. Touchdown, Randall Cobb. He beat Josiah Scott of the... Bates to Gainwell. Hurts has a lot of space over here. Take it off. Anybody going to catch him? 2nd and goal. And Sanders plowing his way forward and into the end zone. Watson left at the top alone. Rodgers going to go to the middle of the field. Look out, it's intercepted. Read by Blankenship. Jay Brown. Ball out. Picked up by Quay Walker. Is going to go. Walker going to try to pick up Bucs and Jair Alexander. Cuts back to the inside at the 30. Rodgers climbs. Escapes. Fires to the end zone. Touchdown, Aaron Jones. More of that. 2nd and 10. Hurts. We try the other side this time. Coming back to get it for the touchdown. 3rd and 7. Eagles bring 5. Rodgers in trouble. And sacked. Hassan Reddick. Brandon Graham. Fletcher
Throwing the football, not to defend.
It's a good game. And then Sanders through the secondary. Sanders to Hurts throwing end zone touchdown. A.J. Brown gets the feet down. More points for one team. Crosby has scored for Green Bay. And for the right hash, Elliott. 37. Here he is throwing in the middle. It's caught by Watson. He's got great speed. Turning the corner. Christian Watson down the sideline. And he will score. Elliott. Got it. Wow. I have it. Mason Crosby from 33. Extra point size field goal. It's a 7-point game.
And on Sunday Night Football, the Eagles ran over the Packers 40-33. They're now 10-1. First team to do that since, 2020? Yeah. Packers fought 4-8. They're really bad. Aaron Rodgers threw 2 horrible interceptions. He had broken ribs at the end of the game. 11 of 16 for 142 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. They ran the ball not that great. Obviously, A.J. Dillon had one long run. That was really it. Had a touchdown as well. Christian Watson kind of salvaged his night with that long touchdown. They kept it close, though. Aaron Jones had a touchdown, and same with Randall Cobb. Defensively, Jonathan Ford, I mean, they were all bad. Like, I don't care. Yeah, the 2 sacks, good for them. They were so bad. I don't even want to look at the stats. Jair Alexander struggled. Everyone sucked. Eagles-wise, yeah, they had one bad turnover, but Jalen Hurts, 16 of 28, 153, 2 touchdowns. He ran the ball for 157 yards, which is absurd. Miles Sanders ran the ball at 6.8 yards per carry for 2 touchdowns. Kenneth Gainwell also had 1. They ran the ball down their throats. A.J. Brown had a touchdown along with Quez Watkins. And Devontae Smith productive for 4 and 50. Darius Slay, 4 tackles, had of course, hit off his helmet. Reed Blankenship had the interception off that. Josiah Scott had a really nice interception as well. They had 3 sacks, got pressure on Rodgers. They weren't very good, honestly. The Eagles had 520 yards and 363 rushing yards. Again, is ridiculous. They had the ball a lot longer this game. Again, when you can't stop a cold, you're not going to win it. And yeah, I mean, yeah, I went through that really quick, but there's really only one thing to say. Packers scored some points. Eagles scored more. Yeah, that's all I got there. Packers offense, they scored points. They kept it close. So offensively, I'll give them 3 pluses. But when your defense is that bad, they were literally worse than the Seahawks defense. I got to give them 8 minuses. They were so bad. They could not fit the running game, and Jalen Hurts stepped up and made throws. Yeah. They did. The offense put up some points, but defensively, again, they sucked. Eagles time. 363 rushing yards, I think, is more than the Rams have gotten in, the whole season probably combined. So that's pretty good. 100 rushing yards with Miles Sanders. They got that. 31 minutes possession, 20 plus points. All got that. Offensively, I'll give them 6 pluses. The only thing I got to say, the receivers weren't actually getting open very well, which is one thing to say. But they had 360 rushing yards, 363 rushing yards. I'll actually give them 7 pluses. Not 8, though. Eagles defense, just don't let Aaron take over. He didn't take over, so you did your job. Obviously, they weren't great, though, so I'll give them a minus. 33 points against is not very good. Obviously, Monday Night Football is coming on later. That's all I got for this dumpster fire. But this game was entertaining, obviously, but dang, the Packers are a mess. And that'll just about do it for this Week 12 NFL Sunday recap. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Obviously, Monday Night Football is probably already over for you guys, so comment down below what the score of that game was. Because you probably already know it, but it would be pretty cool to see how you guys what the analysis of the game was. But yeah, of course, that's all I got there. And yeah, see you in the next one.
Gabriel. Oh my goodness. That ball was caught. Marvin Mims. How do